Many people ask the question, what is the best collecting gimmick from Super Sentai's history? A lot might answer with Ranger Keys, but I think the true answer actually is Sentai Gears. And I'm going to explain why in the inaugural episode of Super Sentai Showcase. Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome to the first episode of Super Sentai Showcase. This is a new video series dedicated to Super Sentai and its toy lines, and we're going to have a wide range of topics on here, but today's video is all about Sentai Gears and Avataro Gears, just in a general, broad sense, the gear gimmick, and why I think it is the best gimmick. This series will expand to other types of videos, and there will be future installments. Some may be focused on one series, some may be across multiples. And to make sure you don't miss out on any of them, please hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and also hit the like button if you enjoyed this, so it'll tell me to continue doing more in this format. Might as well leave a comment down below with suggestions and ideas. I'm definitely open to it. But let's talk about Super Sentai collecting gimmicks in a broad sense before getting into why I think the Sentai Gears are the best one. So the collecting gimmick is a thing that Bandai does. It's a little doodad that you stick in a thing and it goes in another thing and it makes sounds in one thing or another. There's a couple different ways to do it. They can have electronic boxes in them. They can read something in the toys themselves. And for Super Sentai, that was introduced with the engine souls for Engine Sentai Go-Onger. For example, this change soul works in the actual Go phone itself to do the transformation sounds, and that's pretty cool. But it makes the same sounds in any toy, so if you eject this engine soul, and if you have a toy like the Mantan gun where you can open this up, put the engine soul inside, and now you get those sounds through the Mantan gun. But the sounds are the same no matter what device you put it in, because it's essentially just 3 buttons inside the soul itself. And in fact, there is 0 electronics in the toys that actually read engine souls. Now, arguably the most popular collecting gimmick of all time is the Ranger Keys from Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger. The whole idea behind them is you take a key, you put it into your Mobirates, and it makes the sound for that team. Which is pretty cool, because this gimmick gives you something besides just a little doodad. They're tiny little statues of past Rangers of different Sentai teams. And the fun part about Ranger Keys, you only need the red typically for most sounds. There are some other special sounds for certain other colors, but reds for each team make the same sound. So if you have Spade Ace, you have the sound for Jacka. Though it is really tempting to go back and complete your little team to have your little set of statues on your shelf. And that's what really makes the Ranger Keys fun. What makes Ranger Keys not fun is the fact that while Red was in a deluxe set, and you could get Big One and Clover King in a candy toy set, you had to get Heart Queen and Dia Jack from a Gashapon set. And in general, there is a lot of differences here, with the deluxe ones having full paint, whereas Big One and Clover King being candy toys mean that they have stickers between their legs, and they're painted chests, but then the Gashapon ones are stickers everywhere, and that's kind of a bummer because the sticker chests don't look near as nice as the painted ones, and to date, there's not fully painted Jacka keys in existence. And that's where Ranger Keys can get frustrating, especially when you start to realize that in terms of your overall price value as a collector, all 5 of these make the same exact sound in the Mobirates, no matter what color they look like. Sure, they make different colors in the Gokai Saber or the Gokai Galleon Buster, but overall, you're getting the same thing. And that was nice for the 35th anniversary of Sentai, but they stepped it up a bunch with the Sentai Gears for the 45th anniversary in Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, and then continued the gimmick with Avataro Sentai Donbrothers the year after, and that is the form of Avataro Gears. But what's interesting about these 2 different gimmicks is they're both gears, and they're cross-compatible between both. And this is why I think they're the best gimmick. But let me give you examples and really sell you on this idea, because when I actually started collecting Sentai Gears, I realized how versatile these little things are. So Sentai Gears were introduced in the 2021 series Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, and they come in 2 different types. You have your Zenkaigers, which is your actual team gears that are based on the specific Sentai themselves, so all the team members have their own distinctive gear, while they share similarities with the original teams that they're based on in the numbering. The backs do have distinctively the Zenkaiger logo on them. Then we have the Legend Sentai gears, which each represent a past Sentai. They are numbered and they have their team leader or their red in place, and on the back they have their specific logo, so you know which ones are which. Now in the series itself, when a legend gear is used in a Gear-to-Linger, it activates a special ability. This ability can range from something as simple as giving them a weapon that team had, or full-on recreations of scenes from the past. There's a lot of variety in how they were used in the show, which I think is really interesting. Ranger keys just turn you into a past ranger. These could do anything, and that's kind of exciting. Toy line-wise though, they each make a sound based on the Sentai. Adding to this, the gears are two-sided, which means they have multiple features involved. But I think one of my favorite parts about the Sentai gears is their ease of collecting. Whereas with Ranger keys, you always try to get the deluxe ones or the candy toy ones so you can get painted versions, and some just aren't painted. With Sentai gears, I'm holding up a deluxe, a candy toy, and a gashapon, I think. And you can't really tell the difference from this distance. And even close up, I don't think you can tell the difference. They are made nearly identical. There is some slight shades in plastic and slight chrome plating differences, but all of the deluxe and gashapon ones and candy toy ones are all chromed out with the actual logos on them, and they are about the same plastic color. So you'd never know the difference, and that makes it a very consistent set. Now to top this off, a Ranger key just gives you the team sound, and then you can press the button to get the roll call phrase, and some Memorial versions will give you some extra sounds on top of that. But a Sentai gear, just on its own, gives you multiple modes within the single toy. So on the first side, you put it into the Gear-to-Linger, close it up, crank it, and then you get to hear the team name. Then if you hold the button down and then crank the handle, you start to hear the team name rolled off the tongue. Plus, on top of that, cranking it first, then charging it up will allow you to do a finisher attack. Then taking that gear and flipping it to the other side will activate the Big Bang sound for a mecha summon. Then you can crank the handle and charge up a finisher on the mecha side as well. So yes, while some of these sounds are repeated between gears, the fact that one gear gets you 5 sounds in just the Gear-to-Linger is kind of amazing. That's a high level of versatility. And speaking of versatility, this is one of the most amazing things. The same gear will work in 3 different Zenkaiger devices. So in the Gear-to-Linger, you get the normal sound. In the Gear-to-Zinger, you get the dark version of the sound. And then in the Gear-to-Linger, some gears work, but most of them just have a generic Sentai name, but they still work in that device. And what's pretty cool is that you can use a normal gold gear in the Gear-to-Zinger to get the dark sound. You don't need the purple dark gear version. And on top of that, you don't need the red, super red versions either. These are all cosmetic. Essentially speaking, a gold, purple, and red gear of the same Sentai number will do the same sound. And that is kind of interesting because I don't think I've seen Bandai be that generous before. I expected only dark gears to work only in the Gear-to-Zinger and then to make a specific dark sound. But you can actually just use your same gold gear across the board. And now here's where something is fascinating. Similar to Ranger keys, Sentai gears didn't end when Zenkaiger did. Ranger keys continued into the Go Busters toy line by being available, but they weren't integrated into the show. However, the Sentai gears evolved into the Avataro gears for Avatar Sentai Donbrothers in 2022. What's really amazing and very unlike Bandai, Sentai gears and Avataro gears are literally cut from the same mold. If you have the 38 gold ToQger gear, or the Avataro Tokyu Red Tokyuger gear, they work the same in both series of devices. So if you stick the Tokyuger Avataro gear into the gear to linger, you can hear what sound it makes. And if you put the Sentai 38 Tokyuger gear into the Dawn Blaster, you can hear what sound it makes. So yes, you don't have to rebuy all the gears into Avataro versions just to make them work in the Dawn Blaster. And that's incredible, because I didn't really want to rebuy everybody in Avataro gear form. And that, I think, is cool. You can pick aesthetically which of the past 44 Sentai you want in gear form. If you like the Avataro gears more, go for the Avataro gears. If you like the actual Sentai gear look more, go for the Sentai gears. There's one minor hiccup in that the Avataro gears don't have a backside that reads, it just has this little peg, but the sounds were pretty generic for the Big Bang anyways. If you have any of the Zenkaigers change gears, which you would if you even have a gear to linger, it all works out. Unfortunately, things aren't 100% cross-compatible. If you put the Zenkaiger gear into the Dawn Blaster, it of course reads it as Zenkaiger. But then if you put the DonMomotaro gear in the gear to linger, it of course doesn't read because the Donbrothers didn't exist when that toy was programmed. So what's kind of cool about the Dawn Blaster compared to the gear to linger is that if you put a gear from Gokaiger through Zenkaiger into the Dawn Blaster, you actually get their unique transformation sound. And the coolest part too is this works whether you have the Sentai gear version or the Avataro gear, because they have the same gear cut and make the same sound. Gears for Go Ranger through Gokaiger sound a bit like this. While Gokaiger through Zenkaiger gears sound like this. And not to go back to a Ranger Key comparison, but the Dawn Blaster in show works a little different than the gear to linger did. They actually transform into past Sentai, occasionally, when the writers feel like that was the thing they needed to do. And so it's kind of neat that there was unique sounds for the most 10 recent Sentai, because that kind of ties into the anniversary feel. What's also neat about Donbrothers was the introduction of the TigerDora being a 6th Ranger changer. And this specifically had 6th Ranger Avataro gears with the actual 6 Rangers plastered on them. But the Kirame Silver gear does the same sound as the Kira Major Avataro gear, as the Kira Major Sentai gear, as the Super Red Kira Major Sentai gear, as the Dark Kira Major Sentai gear. If you have a Kira Major gear, you can get the Kirame Silver sound in the TigerDora. Now that being said, not all teams with 6 Rangers or additional Rangers have sounds in the TigerDora. It is a little bit more limited, but all of the gears that they made with the 6 Rangers on them are the ones that work in it. So you can kind of look and see, oh, did they make a 6 Ranger gear of that? And then know that your Sentai's gear is going to work in the TigerDora to make that 6 Ranger sound. Then on top of that, if you have the Ryunogeki, which is the actual transformation device for Donbrothers Goku, you can use that in conjunction with the 6 Ranger gears in the TigerDora in order to activate specific attack sounds based on that Ranger. So again, we're adding value. The more devices you add to the equation, the more value you get out of that singular gear. Adding to this, the Zonglass sword has a ton of LED lights in it, and when you scan it on the Dawn Blaster after scanning a Sentai team, you get a standby sound with lights flashing through the different colors of the main team, which is just amazing because that works with all 45 teams. Plus you get special attack sounds for Gokaiger through Zenkaiger. But what's even more amazing is that if you scan a gear into the TigerDora, even if it doesn't distinctively identify which gear it is in the sound, it doesn't make the specific Six Ranger sound, scanning the Zonglass sword on the TigerDora with any of the gears that have teams with additional members will cycle through the colored lights on those additional members, no matter how many additional members that may be. And then taking it one step beyond, attaching the Omikoshi Phoenix to the Dawn Blaster activates gold on DonMomotaro. Adding on top of that, if you scan in a gear from Gokaiger through Zenkaiger, you actually get a new standby attack sound when you do the finisher. And that standby attack sound matches that team's standby attack from their final weapon in their season.
Festival time!
Now, like I mentioned, Avataro gears lack that B-side. For Zenkaiger, that was how you summon the mecha. For Donbrothers, they made mecha gears and alter gears for different forms, and these just add more sounds and more experiences. While they won't work backwards into the Zenkaiger stuff, it's just kind of cool because now we have specific mecha getting gears, and the alter forms getting gears as well, adding to the collection. Now, for you completionists out there who want to get every transformation item, kind of like me, if you have the Stay Caesar gear from the Gear to Zinger, and you have the Dawn Blaster, and you have the Ninjark sword, you can scan the Stay Caesar gear, scan it with the Ninjark sword, and get a special sound for that. Do you also love Kamen Rider in addition to Sentai? Well, guess what? There's Sentai gears for Kamen Riders. During Zenkaiger, we got Gio and 01 that make a Kamen Rider sound, and a Kamen Rider Saber gear that makes a specific Saber sound. And then during Donbrothers, there was a Revive Vice and Geats Avataro gears, so you can at least get some Kamen Rider action in these too. And then to top it off, there's a special all-red gear, which either has all the red helmets on it, or this Zenkaiger on one side, Aka Ranger on the other side gear. And if you put this into your Gear to Linger or your Dawn Blaster, it'll just roll through all the teams that are in the device. And that's pretty handy in case you don't want to buy all the gears, but still want to hear all the sounds. Though fair warning, it may take you up to like 5 or 6 minutes to hear them all. So I think I've made a good point to show how versatile Sentai gears are. If you have a Gear to Linger or a Dawn Blaster, or both especially, you're going to get the full use out of any Sentai gear you pick up pretty much. I mean, if you use some of the Avataro specific ones in the Gear to Linger, it's not going to work, but the Dawn Blaster, if you got this thing, it's going to read everything, and that's pretty amazing. Now the thing is, let's examine how far you can go if you have all the transformation items that you use gears. So let's use Gokaiger as an example. If you buy the Sentai gear version of Gokaiger, it works in the Gear to Linger. It also works in the Gear to Zinger. It also works in the gear Dellinger. You can use it in the Dawn Blaster. You can see its team's colors in the Zonglass sword. You can hear its team's finisher standby in the Omikoshi Phoenix. You can hear its Sixth Ranger sounds in the TigerDora. You can hear its Sixth Ranger attack in the Ryu no Geki. And you can see the Sixth Ranger's colors in the Zonglass sword. No other Sentai gimmick in history works in 10 different devices like that, in 10 different ways, on top of the fact that the Gear Dellinger gives you 5 different ways off the bat. The Dawn Blaster has extra attack sounds as well. One gear can rule them all, and that is why I'm adamant that this is the best Sentai gimmick we have ever seen. Not a single other Sentai gimmick is nearly as versatile as this. While we have gotten a ton of Ranger keys, we got a lot of Judenshi, we got a lot of different things, most of those are self-contained to their Sentai season. Gears not only transcend and evolve over across 2 seasons, but it represents all of Super Sentai history down to the minutia of the colors of the teams. And that is incredible dedication and work, and why I loved collecting these. At first, I didn't think much of them. It seemed like they just did generic sounds. But the more that I got, the more that I realized that this is one of the most versatile, amazing collections of Sentai gimmicks ever made, and maybe one of my favorite Bandai gimmicks ever made. It does seem like, on the surface, they do just make generic sounds, and it's just team names, and oh, it's just repetitive of the Ranger keys. But when you start looking at how many things these can do just by having one of them, imagine what you can do with all of them. I didn't collect Sentai gears when they were out, but I picked them all up later, and I had a blast. And I'm kind of sad that I've kind of reached the limit. There are some specialty gears I don't have, but for the most part, I got all the teams, and boy, I kind of wish it kept going somehow. I really enjoyed these. I have had hours of fun playing around with Sentai gears, figuring out all the sounds, what makes what and which, what sounds and lights come up in the Zonglass sword. It's been a blast. And I wanted to share that as part of the inaugural Super Sentai Showcase episode. And that does it for this episode. I think that's just my case has been made for why I think Sentai gears are the best gimmick. And if you want to fight it out and tell me different, hit the comments down below. hit subscribe and the notification bell if you haven't already. There will be more Sentai Showcase episodes in the near future, and the topics will be varied. They won't always be me staking my claim on the hill I'm dying on and claiming, you know, Sentai Gears are the best Sentai gimmick, but there will be some other great stuff in the future. I am very looking forward to doing more of this series. Also, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Please also consider joining as a channel member. Hit the join button down below for more details, but let's give a special shout out to all of our channel members now. Special shout out to all our channel members, including our captain tiers: Infinity Wartorn, Spin-54, Super Shaddix Boom, Toma K, Jamie's World, MJ Klein, The Photo Viper, Brenton Yadon, SSJ4 Jason, Oma Ender, Shenlong Zanshi, Psycho O's, Jagger N0, Canadian Survivalist, Doge9789, Smith the Crow, Masterbin95, Infinite 1985, and Jeremy Carr. If you'd like to become a member, hit the join button down below for more details. If you want to continue the conversation, join our Discord in the link below. Come hang out on our Monday live streams at 5 p.m. Eastern every Monday on this YouTube channel. You can also find me on social media at most platforms at Soundout12. You can find my awesome graphic designer on social media and Discord at DarkClass643, and you can find Hero Club at hero-club.com for tokusatsu news and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying, see you in the next showcase.